Hi, my name is Jack, and I'm today's tour guide. And here we are in the Wulin village. We're now at the chairman's house. Before we introduce the chairman's house, I'd like to introduce two famous upriver scenery that located in Wulin. The first one is the small ravine, and it's located in Salinhao and Maklan. And both of these places are the hunting grounds for the local people. And the small ravine has a small waterfall in the center, so you could bring your family, your children here to have a fun water activity. But it has 5 meters deep, so you have to be careful to wear your life jacket and your helmet on all the time. And the second place is three-tier waterfall, which means that it has 3 layers and the water will pour down to the final layer. And if you dare to stand under the waterfall, you could enjoy the natural spa. After we introduce these two famous sceneries in Wulin, and now I'd like you to have a look around the chairman's house. What do you see that attracted to you the most? The jaws right here, right? You can tell that is the animal's jaws. But do you know what kind of animals are these? It's actually the boars. The hunter, they would hunt down the boars and they would have all the bones thrown away, but they would leave the jaws. And why would they do this? Why would they hunt the boar's jaws outside of the house? It's actually to show off their hunting ability, because they believe the more jaws you have, the more hunting ability that you require. So that would hunt all the bones outside of the house to prove that I'm a great hunter. And what about the hunters when they hunt outside? How do they cook? They use this 3-stone stove. They use this to cook outside because when they hunt outside, they don't usually bring the kitchen stuff with them. So they would take 3 giant rocks and build up like a triangle to make it firmly, and it has a good airflow when they build up like a triangle. And the 3-stone stove, they use it to cook, and second, they use it to scare off the animals, because if you camp outside, it's pretty dangerous that the wild animal would attack the hunters. So they build the 3-stone stove to cook, to scare off the animals, and most importantly, they use it to warm themselves. Since I mentioned about hunting, do you know what hunters would do before they hunting? They would hold up a ceremony, because they believe in the mountains or in the nature. They believe there would be all kinds of spirits, and mostly they believe that the spirits would be their ancestors. So they would hold up this ceremony to pray for safety, to tell the spirits that we're here in peace. And so they would hold up this ceremony. And in the ceremony, they will prepare some rice wine to respect the spirits. And actually, they have some taboos before they go hunting. If the hunters fought or hiccups before hunting, they believe that this is a dangerous sign that the spirits tell the hunters there might be some danger on your journey. So they either cancel the hunting time or they postpone the hunting time for about 10 or 20 minutes. And after they hunting, they would bring the stuff, the pray that they hunt down to the village, and when they walk past by the neighborhoods, they will knock on the neighbor's door and share some meat to them to show their kindness, to show that, oh yeah, we're neighbors, we're friends. So they will knock on the door to say hi and share some meat to the neighbors. This is a social interactions for them. Okay, now we have some basic knowledges about hunting. Later, we're going to Lu Liao Creek to start our journey. But before we go, there's some precautions. First, always wear your life jackets and your helmets on all the time. And second, basically we're going to walk on foot and river trekking, of course, but we're going deeper into the mountains. They would have some rock climbing, so if you don't want to climb the rock, you can choose to stay on a safe place before we go deeper into the mountains. And on our way to the mountains, we will have to cross the river, and if you see the stacked up stones that's taken up by the riverside, it's not someone that have fun with the rocks. It's because it's the hunters that tell the people that this is a safe place to cross the river. So the hunters will stack up the stones like this by the riverside, and then, oh, this is the right place. So they walk from this point to cross the river to the other point. Remember, this is very important for your life. And if you don't, when we cross the river, you can't cross by yourself. You could have some companies, and like you could hold each other's hands and cross the river, because more people and more friendly you will be. So these are some precautions. Okay, now let's move on and start our journey.